Hi everyone, my name is Lillian and I'm happy to welcome you to another webinar brought to you by GmbH Streamline, demand forecasting and inventory planning software in partnership and cooperation with leading experts all around the globe. The topic of today is how to achieve effective sales and operations planning using Streamline. And I'm happy to introduce to you our speaker of today, Akarat Rujirasettakul. He is CPIM certified professional, Inno Insight Co Ltd partner, supply chain and logistics consultant with over than 20 years of experience managing supply chain functions, including sourcing, contract manufacturing, supply planning, logistics, customer service, and quality assurance for Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Well, nevertheless, Akarat will later on introduce himself. So, Akarat, please go ahead.
Thank you, Lillian. Hi, everybody. Thank you for Lillian for introducing me, which is very nice. I wonder how Lillian pronounced my last name. It's not easy one, so she is good. It's a very long one, and I would say that is quite a typical Thai surname, right? Yes, I am certified CPIM for almost 10 years. And at the end of the 10th year, I need to recertify, which I really hate. It's a lot of reading, testing. I'm not sure anybody here are CPIM certified. Supposed to be well known in the US, right? Hopefully. Someone told me, at least my ex-boss, who was American, told me that this is famous, popular in the US. Anyway, okay. In the case that there is anybody from the Europe, then ESLog will be familiar to you. It's a European Senior Logistics Chain Certificate. It's sort of a professional certificate for someone like us who are practicing supply chain in our work. Yeah, I got used working in this area for the last 20 years now. I'm a consultant, but I used to run ASEAN supply chain in several countries. And of course, I used to be S&OP champion, and that's why I picked the topic today. That's what about more than 10 years ago, when I was quite a manager. Then I'm doing the S&OP champion for a milk powder company. Not sure you know about this company. It's called Mead Johnson. Yeah, it's an American company, by the way. Then I'm moving to another American company. Most of the time I work for American company. This is quite good. Then I'm doing S&OP leader at the time. Now I'm moving I still implement. That time we call it revitalization of the S&OP process, meaning that we have S&OP process, but somehow people sort of take it for granted, doesn't run it for proper in the efficient way of S&OP. Then we have a project called S&OP revitalization. Hope that I pronounce it correctly. Okay, and the rest of qualification, you can read at it or you can come back and read it. And I know that this is not your topic to listen to what I'm used to work, right? I got 2 comments on S&OP. If you have any question, please leave it there. Okay, in the case that for someone who is new to S&OP, you will love next slide. What is S&OP? It's a process. You just look at the red color words. It's a process, a business process, which handle the tactical plans. So it's not operations, it's not strategic. Operation mean day-to-day works. Something like we pick the goods, we ship the goods. That is everyday work. It's not a strategic, in the sense that we are not talking about 3 to 5 years in the future, but mostly S&OP are talking about from today up to 18 months in the time horizon. 1 year is a minimum. We either hear July 2020. We are talking the business plan in July 2021, or even cover the whole year. Most of the time when I recommend people to implement S&OP, I would recommend them to look at in 18 months horizon. Reason why? Normally the company will do the budget for next year at this time, about mid of the year. You will do the budget for next year. So if you have a S&OP process, the management and the business will have the ability to see in the future to see the next full fiscal year, right? Because 18 months, July 2020 will cover December 2021. So it's full year. That's why I said tactical plans. The purpose is to direct the business, right? Of course, S&OP is not a one time. It's not a meeting one day and done, but it is a continuous process. And normally we do it monthly as a minimum. I heard that some company are doing twice a month. Well, depends on the complexity of the company and the processes of that company. But to me, most of the time, based on my experience, I'm doing it for about once a month, which is considered a lot of work, especially when you don't have a tool to help you. In the past, when I do S&OP, all calculation, all the business projection, all the forecasting, which I'm going to discuss later on, are on manual, meaning that we are using Excel. Wow, that will be a lot of work. Believe me. I'm not sure if you are having a system. I'm not sure that your system will support you or not. But once I see Streamline, when I first knew this Streamline, yes. At the time, I'm looking for S&OP software for my client. I'm looking for a software that can handle forecasting, and a software can handle what I call dollarization. It's a process to convert forecast in quantity. It's something like when you do forecast, we do in quantity, right? We need a proper software to convert this into money, into financial terms. And that's when I found Streamline. I really liked the software itself before I was to be a partner. I mean, it's quite interesting story to become GMDH partner. I noticed, I heard that Streamline, I searched it from the Google. Then I look at it about a couple nights. Then I talked to Natalie. Then she tried to demo for me at the time. I told her, okay, I already tried it. I just want to know how I like this product. I said to her, I want to commercialize this product in Thailand, which I know that is to close the gap of S&OP process. Okay, too much commercial maybe, but anyway, this is true story. When I first knew Streamline, Okay, the important thing of S&OP, you take a note. If you are new, you have to make sure that you have these parties involved, committed to the process: marketing, sales, supply chain, finance, and definitely your big boss. I don't know how you call it in your country, MD, GM, CEO, whoever that can make a decision, the final decision for the business. That is important to be. I would let that number one in the company to be S&OP. Champion is me, right? So he's supposed to be something like chairman of the process, for example. And this is really important component of the process, right? Okay, this is the S&OP. And what are we doing with the S&OP? What we try to do is a process that I mentioned, right? Sales, marketing, yes, R&D, research and development, because S&OP also including new product launch, new product development, or the new product that you want to introduce into the market, R&D is important, because when we look at 18 months in the future, in order to achieve the company goals, especially financial goals, existing products, most of the time, are not enough. I mean, the revenue of the existing products will not enough to meet that goal. I mean, that at least based on my experience. You may have a new packaging launch, a new version, a new revision, or in the case, sometimes you have a very new formulation, new product. That is first time launching your company. That's why we need development, of course, manufacturing, and definitely sourcing and financial. The most important person in the whole process is financial. We are come together talking and come up with one integrated of plans. What does it mean, one integrated of plans, right? Okay, I have a question there. Maybe I should answer. I like to answer. S&OP, we need to wait result from supply side or not? Thank you. In fact, it's a vice versa. It's another way around. Supply plan is waiting for, hold on, let me understand. You mean S&OP meeting, right? The flow of, oh yeah, I haven't included that flow in the supply chain, which yes, I have it there. Maybe Joseph, thank you for your question. You just wait for another 2 slides. Your question will be answered, right? Okay, because I'm going to show you the S&OP loop, right? So come to this one integrated set of plans. Okay, Lillian, in case that, are you a salesperson? You used to be a sales?
Yeah, kind of.
You are a sales? Kind of, all right. Normally, if someone is a salesperson and that person knows that, for example, this month I can close my target sale, let's say 1 million US. Mm-hmm. If you know it, 1 million US, for sure. Then one day in the morning, you walk around in your office, in your coffee corner, right? Then your boss coming. And maybe he asking, hey, Lillian, what are you planning to close the number to this month? Right? Mm-hmm. In general, how the people will answer? Maybe not Lillian. In general, do you think that salesperson will tell to the MD or the boss higher or lower than 1 million?
Higher.
Wow, we should give her the grand slam prize. Mm-hmm. But you tell your boss higher? Why?
Well, I have just one client. Why not? Maybe I will come up with some other clients and it will be higher.
Wow, very positive thinking. Good. But 95% of people will answer that they will tell the lower number. The reason is simple. You told higher, that's good. I like it. Take it. That's your new target. Right away, said what? I mean, 95%. So you're one out of 5%. She is good. I like her. All right. And
thanks.
That salesperson, 95% of the salesperson. Do you agree? I mean, are you listening to me? I hope that many people listening to me now. You agree? 95% of the sales people will tell less. I used to conduct S&OP training. I asked the people to raise their hand. Yeah, most of the time say yes, but some will answer that. Next, the same salesperson walk around in office. Now, that person come across, let's say, supply chain, the person who planned the inventory for them, the what we call planner, and all the supply chain guys. Guess and of course, the supply chain person asks the salesperson again, how much will you close this month? You guess what will be the number? Is higher or lower than 1 million when we tell the supply chain guy? Lillian, guess?
I'm not sure. maybe if most people say higher to the boss, maybe lower to the boss, maybe higher to sales. I mean,
to the supply chain. Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yes, true. Yeah, true. 95% said that the simple logic that they will tell higher to the supply chain guy because they are afraid that they will not have enough product to sell. And that is really instinct, really instinct. I also asking myself what I should do. The answer is the same, right? But you know what happened? Then later on, these three people come together and talking. Then how many numbers we have in this company? 1 million, one higher, and one is lower. So these three figures in the same company. And that is why the S&OP process try to bring all of these people to agree on the consensus forecasting to one number. And then we have one set of number. You have as one set integrated plan. You have sale plan. You have marketing plan. And of course, you have supply chain plan who are integrated and based on the same consensus number. And this is what we call the objective of S&OP. All right. Thank you, Lillian. Because I need someone to talk to. That's why I just, but she's good to sell. Yeah. When I met many people, when I'm talking, someone also tell me, I'm doing S&OP. I said, what kind of S&OP you're doing? This is a checklist, right? In the case that you think that you are doing S&OP, you have a look. On the left-hand side is not, and on the right-hand side, yes. Someone said, oh, I have a monthly meeting. Yeah, right. And many people will have a monthly meeting talking about history. Last month sale, last 2 months sale, last month KPIs. That is not S&OP, right? Some people may just think S&OP is just a forecasting process. I'm already done forecasting in my company. I'm complete my S&OP. Sort of, part of, not all, right? And yeah, sometimes people just do volume. There are some companies just do the number. Sales, normally when we talk about sales target, we talk about number. I will close 1 million, I will close 10 million. What product? I don't know. I will close 1 million, I will close 10 million. And that's supply chain guy like me. We said, okay, I heard you that you will close 1 to 10 million, but what products are you going to sell? And that's important. So we need, if you're talking either one volume or just money, then it's not S&OP. We don't do a complete S&OP yet. Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe some people said S&OP is supply chain works. Sales and marketing, I'm too busy with a lot of meetings. So just do it, the S&OP. No, S&OP is not for supply chain. Although S&OP, I think the historical said is generated from the supply chain people, all right? You may search a name like Oliver White. He expert in this area, right? Have a look at the Google. Okay, what is S&OP then? Is a business model, operating model, is must look at the future, right? It's a decision-making process. When we come into the S&OP, we should have a proper agenda. Out of the S&OP meeting room or end of the process, we should have a decision, and we're gonna act based on that decision as a team. And this is important. Is volume and dollars together? I explained it already. And of course, is driver actionable insight. Oh yeah, this is important. Is for the entire business, not just supply chain only, or just salesperson only, or just marketing. It's not me. No, it's all together, right? Okay, Joseph, this will answer your question. This is the S&OP process. Normally, we're starting from forecasting, generating the forecast. Normally, when we do this, we close month end, and we do it in the first few days, right? After month end closing. Then of course, by the time, typically within 1 week, we should close the forecast consensus, agree with one number, right? Then of course, you send that forecast to supply chain team, because in the case that there are some changes, higher or lower compared to last period, the supply chain team will have to review supply and demand and make sure they are synchronized. We don't have too much stock, or we don't have short stock in the future. Then we come to discuss about in the S&OP meeting. Then in this meeting, we have a proper agenda. I haven't included that agenda. You can search in the textbook or in the Google what will be the S&OP agenda. But this about mid of the month, hopefully mid of the month, not later than that, we should end everything. Then we adjust the action plan, because after review the plan actually in what we call executive S&OP meeting. Then where you have the big boss, a lot of directors, executive directors, those who are decision maker in the company, and of course the final decision maker in the company, to sit, and then we present the forecast in the future, any upside, downside, risk, what is the concern, and what is our team recommendation to the management. Of course, we come with proposal, then this, the management, hopefully they can make decision based on our data, then we can implement that plan based on the result of the S&OP. If I answer to Joseph, if you're talking S&OP plan is after supply chain, yes, it is. Because if we are talking about this, but of course supply chain plan will driven by the consensus forecasting. So this is the loop, all right, in January monthly meeting. Doing properly, the S&OP meeting should be less than 1 or 2 hours, because when we're talking every month, there should not be much surprise happening in the business process, except early this year when we have COVID. That will be another story, right? But normally we should target to have S&OP, especially for the executive S&OP meeting, to complete by 1 or 1.5 hours. So it has to be concise and decisive meeting, all right? Now, so what I found, Streamline can help through the process. If you do all this based on Excel, or we don't have the forecasting tool, I think we are, I got to use, so we are already there at the first phase, which is generating forecast. But with the S&OP as a tool, we can do all this within the software. I only pick 3 key activities, which I find as a Streamline supporting this process very efficiently. One is the generating forecast, and of course to derive the consensus forecast, and to help us to evaluate the supply plan. Okay, so this is the 3 things that I'm going to show you how Streamline will help you, at least help my customer to do the S&OP. So this Streamline, hopefully anybody knows Streamline in this webinar, or you guys new to Streamline? Because I will not talking about how, the technical things, how to set it up. I just to pick up how Streamline will help on the 3 important process of the S&OP. One is generating forecast. Second is to get the consensus forecast. And third is to review the supply plan. All right. Let me know if you are new, and if in case that you need someone help on Streamline, you can tag Lillian then. All right.
Yeah, I see some advanced users already as attendees, so we can stick to sales and operations
Yeah.
plan
Right.
for the future.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then forecasting. Okay, I just pick up the demo data in Streamline. So, I mean, to me, for this demo data, let me have a check. It's about demo, right? So 7, but it in my customer that using this one, we have about 400 items to 3 to 400 items to handle with this Streamline. Is the steel manufacturing in Thailand. All right, and the data is quite complicated because when we are selling steel, we are talking about the size, the length, etc., etc. So, and that company is, of course, is now get used to the Streamline, and Streamline now become one of their decision-making tool when they are talking about forecast and do the supply review. Okay. Um, the okay. Let's look at this. Before we have before we have Streamline to help, my customer is very similar to the data that I'm having now. Some of their products are seasonal. For example, like this item. In the past, they cannot capture, and definitely when we don't have the tools to do it, normally we use a moving average as a forecasting. How many? We were talking about what we're going to sell next month. This customer particularly, before we implement the Streamline, although their products are seasonal, they are using moving average to do the forecast. And of course, using moving average to do the forecast, instead of seasonal forecasting, we will miss the forecast. And in fact, that factory have about 4 to 5 months of stock coverage, which is a lot. And after we implement this with them, together with the S&OP process, now we are targeting to reduce from 4 to 2 months, and we're talking million US dollar. And actually, Streamline can make them to see the product in, especially when they look at the forecast, in another way around, which they haven't realized that, for example, like seasonal product, and also some like pre-order. We also have some pre-order in the customer model, like similar to this one. When we have a downtrend of the forecast, the gray lines is in this particular product in this demo. This product, right? Used to be a good selling product, but now is going down. What we found that normally if we do with using Excel, we cannot detect easily that this product is coming down. People, in our case, they believe that, okay, it just dropped, but there will be some sale quantity in the future. But with the visualization of Streamline like this, we can see the product easily, that this product now become zero sale in the past few months. Then the decision in the S&OP is become, shall we make to order, or in the term that we use in Streamline is called pre-order. Should we do make to order for this product? Of course, there are still some customers to buy this product, but we cannot afford to keep finished goods for them. I mean, we may have common raw materials, but we cannot afford to keep finished goods available for them because it will be costly. This also help team to agree on the consensus forecast easily. Of course, when we have many items together with cup, and in my case, we have about 700 or 800 customers. Make it really difficult to forecast by customer. So we decided to look at the forecast, similar to the case here, into market segmentation. One is direct, and another one is direct. Then what we can do is we're using, okay, maybe another page. It's something like we can look at by channel. We look at forecasting by channel. One is one direct channel, another one is indirect channel. And then we can talk to the different salesperson. So it makes the process more efficient because we can see the number. Okay, we can see the number. We can see, in this example, it's 12 months. Of course, we can change to 18 months. If we're doing 18-month forecasting, then the management will have ability to see 18 months in the future. Then, of course, in this report, you can run the KPI to see what will be the year-end closing revenue and next year. And of course, if these two numbers, okay, let me show you, zoom in. If these numbers are not met to the target, then we cannot agree on the consensus. And this is the process of converting quantity to money, which I call dollarization. And this is really, when we use Streamline, it's really easy because Streamline, we have the ability to generate average sale by SKU and bottom up, right? Bottom up from lowest channel to item level to the total company level. The management and the team can see easily the revenue by their product categories, by their item, and of course by all company, both in terms of numbers and visual. This will help us to arrive, at least we see that will this enough to meet our budget or not. And in the case that we don't have, our performance are not meet the expectation or doesn't meet the target, then we have to do what they call override forecast. This override forecast using Excel is painful. It's very painful. But because override forecast, you can do either top down, meaning that from the top company, the highest level, going down to SKU level or product level, or sometimes you want to do from product level up to the total company. In the case of both directions, using Excel and recalculating number, it can be done on Excel, but it cannot finish the meeting in shorter time. But with Streamline, we find it really easy. For example, if I look at this growth category, for example, this is okay. This data is a demo, so it's closed at 2018. Let's assume that we were there in December. And when we look at 2019, we doesn't meet the target. We see that although the forecast look nice based on the statistic models, but it's not enough to meet the target. We can simply override forecast. I put just 1,000 and the system will top down to each level, okay? You see? This swimwear for each location, they got allocated at 297. Or the whole SKU, there are 2 SKU in the clothing. In this case, it come up with almost 1,000 is something like what they call round up, round down in the number, decimal number. Okay, once you override forecast, then we can come back to look at the KPI again. This number will change, all right? And we discuss. Once we agree on the number of forecast, then it comes to supply. In the supply, then we can go back to another page. Now I'm moving. Okay, maybe I'm come too fast. I already complete the first generating forecast. I would recommend that in the case that you are new to Streamline, you talk to Lillian and ask her to get the software and install this. Really simple, and look at in your company data. It will make more sense to you. Then you try to do the override forecast. In the case that we cannot meet the target, once we complete on the forecast, Streamline will calculate the supply plan immediately, right? In that, because I should pick this one. Okay, of course, it's the same number, but now it goes to inventory planning by month. Let me override again. This is another file. I should pick this file at the first hand. Okay, let me explain quickly for if someone is new to this. Green line is inventory. When I look at this company in general, wow, we have an opportunity to reduce their inventory. Is forecast is here, inventory is there. If anybody listen to me now is supply chain guy, we have a lot of work to do. But anyway, look at Streamline, how Streamline manage it. Based on sales forecast and inventory level, Streamline will try to reduce the inventory to meet the safety stock policy. And of course, you can set the safety stock policy. Okay, let's do this. When we look at the result of this company is another numbers, I'm sorry. Okay, you can look at this year is 1 billion, 1.6 billion. No, 1.6 million. We closed 2 million, but the boss won 2.5. Okay, then we do something about this, some magic. How much? How many you want, Lillian? 1,000? 10,000? Want some?
Yeah, let's go
10,000?
with 5 or 10K.
Yeah. Okay, just do it 3 months. Pity of supply chain guy, he will get shocked because we just increased the forecast for 3 times. Okay. Wow, we over budget. It's 3 million already. The boss happy. This is, let's assume this is different consensus forecast. Now we can go back to have look at the inventory. Okay, I just pick up the new version of Streamline. I think this version just released a couple months ago. It's got red and green color, which I like it a lot. The green color, remember earlier we have a lot of stock, right? Now you see about in the month of March, our stock is lower than the red. The green line is below red line, meaning that our stock is lower than forecast. Tough time for the supply chain guy based on new forecast. So with Streamline, when you override forecast, what I try to say is you can review the supply plan right away. So your S&OP meeting, when you normally when we go before we go to executive meeting, we will have a manager meeting first. We call pre-S&OP. Okay, pre-S&OP. We discuss about it. Supply chain guy will, okay, if the sale agree that they will gonna sell 9,000 each month and be out of stock in the future, supply chain guy will have to come up with some idea, some plan, the best plan to meet this new forecast. Hopefully we can meet it with some expense of air freight, expedite shipment, blah, blah, blah. Then you have this package, this decision, and go to see your boss. Without Streamline, what I just did in 1 or 2 minutes will take you 3 to 4 days to complete before that. Because when you override this, the supply chain will have to go back to Excel, regenerate the forecast, not enough, come back to the salesperson, back and forth. But with this Streamline, we can short the time to less than 1 day. So this will be short on the S&OP effectiveness using Streamline. So what I'm just explaining is that we can use Streamline as a tool to derive the forecast. in number and in visual. You can use Streamline to do override forecast to come up to meet and agree on a consensus forecast. Together with the supply chain team, you can review this new forecast with your inventory level, within our inventory level. Then the team can come up with the consensus plan easier. Lillian, I think this is just for today.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to be talked, but maybe another time.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of the webinar. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send a quick message to a chat or Q&A box in the bottom of your screen. Meanwhile, thanks Akarat for your amazing presentation, for lots of useful tips and showing us the workflow, how it works in Streamline. It is extremely useful, especially right now when we put even more efforts into managing and overcoming the consequences of global pandemic, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It is helpful. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone, for coming. So we're waiting for your questions. Meanwhile, I have one from my side, so we can start discussion. So what do you think is the most critical part of sales and operations planning? Because in my opinion, it is evaluating the forecast. Maybe it is actual VC planned. Does Streamline has anything for that part of the planning?
You mean forecasting planning?
Actual VC plan. So overviewing reports. So how do we manage?
Okay, then let me go back to the screen. Right. That's one feature in when we're talking about forecast accuracy. You're talking about that way, right? A forecast, historical forecast compared to actual sale. Let me zoom in. Here. Okay, going down a little bit. Yeah, this is really good feature. I got a lot of customer asking how I gonna do the forecast accuracy measurement. Because in order to calculate the forecast accuracy can be done on Excel, but take some time. But with Streamline built-in report is called plan and actual sale. You can see, because we are rolling every month, for example, we can roll, for example, in this case, we're going back in June, right? And you can see easy compared to plan and actual and deviation and the performance every month. The difference is, I think I answered the question from you, right? But I think that the very important thing of this report is this. Let me do a little bit here. Okay, you can see, of course, plan. If we don't override the forecast, the plan number you see will be Streamline plan. I mean, forecasting, statistic forecast. So it's 109, 114. So this is a report that can help us to have a look at historical performance. I mean, historical forecast versus actual sale. Really easy, just one click. But in fact, actually, you can look in that in terms of industry, in terms of ABC analysis, product by ABC, just one click. Or you can look at by SKU, very fast. Yeah. Hopefully it answered the question. Got someone there?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. We have one question coming from the audience, from Gerard. What happens if the supply chain doesn't get to the demand plan? What can we do?
Life is not easy. Life is not as easy as we see, how we talk. Yes, in many cases, supply chain cannot adjust supply plan based on the new forecast, especially, I just give example, this one, right? Because we are in December, I just changed the forecast in January. And if the product, you import product from other countries, sometimes is 2 months. Yeah, live. If we try all the resource and we cannot meet the target. So this is what will happen. Gerard, Gerard, right? If we cannot do 9,000, and based on the best supply plan we have, we can do 5,000. This is what you will do. We come up with the consensus forecast, only 5,000. This is what we can do, because we either, but normally when we do the work, we either have option. Yes, I can do 9,000, but I need to average a lot of products in, because overwriting forecast in short lead time, especially for the importing environment, is not easy. So this is what we call consensus forecast. So we just have to tell the management, at least the team agrees, salesperson agree, marketing team agree, that January, February, we can do 5,000 and we run out of stock. Our supply chain will expedite more orders, but we can support the business to have 9,000. For example, in the next quarter. This is what we can do. Hopefully I answered the question.
In my opinion, pretty much. Thanks again, everyone, for coming. Thanks for your time. It was a pleasure and very thoughtful discussion today. And hope we will continue on with our series of webinars. Stay tuned, follow our YouTube channel, and we will get in touch with everybody.